very special guest this evening in conversation with Chetan Bhagat, Kangana Ranaut. Please put your hands together to receive our very special guest at the table, Indian film actress, recipient of several awards, including 3 national awards and the Filmfare Awards in 4 categories. That's Kangana for us. Very savvy with the media, expressing her honest opinions and of course credited as one of the most fashionable celebrities. Thank you very much, Kangana, for joining us this evening. On behalf of Crossword, I'd like to now invite the CEO of Crossword, Mr. Kinjal Shah, to kindly join us and present to our very special guest this evening, along with the author, a token of appreciation. We have a gift hamper from Yellow, which is the premium stationery brand of Crossword bookstores. On behalf of Crossword, a warm welcome.
Send someone to mic her up. Or will she hold this? This is for the media.
Thank you very much, Kangana, for joining us this evening. Here in association with Crossword Bookstores and the Oberoi Mall for the launch of One Indian Girl from Chetan Bhagat. Chetan, all the very best.
It's a new stationery line, so this is especially for you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kapish Mehra, the Managing Director of Rupa Publications, thank you so much. On behalf of Crossword, I present to you the CEO, Mr. Kinjal Shah.
Thank you, Chetan. I think all your fans, all your customers are expecting to read this book. I'm sure you'll get a lot of fillers today. Thank you, friends, for giving this time in patience and listening to Chetan now and then Kangana. Thank you and best wishes on the book to Chetan.
Our pleasure, Kinjal. Thank you so much. Well, we had a little bit of the interaction along with Chetan. Kangana, thank you for joining us this evening. We'd like to hand it over to you to share a few words. Well, I'm told that you've gone through the book already. And so before we get into the delight of the conversation, for you to just share with us your overall view of being associated with the book launch. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone.
Can you hear her? Keep it really
Can
close.
you guys hear me? Okay, so no, I think this is okay. This is okay, right? This is fine, huh? Okay, so I've read the book and I'm sure everyone's going to love it. And it's a very special book. It's a very human take on a woman's life, a working woman, today's girls who are struggling with their professional lives and personal lives. And it's a lot more endearing and a lot more meaningful because it is coming from a man. That's what makes it very special. And I've become a Chetan Bhagat fan all over again after this book. And when I read it, I was in tears. Actually, a few things pushed me to, made me very emotional because they sounded like, like a leaf out of my own book. So, my own experiences. So, well, I think we should, I should ask Chetan a few questions and...
What we are going to do is, rather than make it very boring book launch type, the plan is she'll ask me 1 or 2 questions, I'll ask her 1 or 2 questions, and then we'll try to be honest and answer them. If Kangana feels comfortable, maybe we'll take 1 or 2 questions from you guys, but you have to ask nice, good questions, okay? And then we'll read a little bit from the book, only a little bit, okay? How does that sound? Sound like a plan? Yeah?
Okay.
Okay, so you want to ask me first? Okay.
Yeah, because I think, because I love the book, I have a lot to ask, and we didn't meet before this because I wanted it to be a very spontaneous conversation. So this book mostly talks about how a woman who's given equal opportunities like a man, today we are talking about gender equality and all of that and how we deserve equal opportunity as a matter of fact. But when we give our women that, they are deprived of their basic feminine rights like love, care, trust, and nurturing, right? That is what the book largely talks about. So I want to ask Chetan that at some point, because he's a married man, he's been in several relationships. So at some point, did he feel No, but I know.
Yeah,
he's-
yeah.
Okay, so at guys, I'm playing an interviewer for the first time. Please
Okay.
cooperate.
No,
Yeah. So did he at any point feel insecure of a woman's success, his woman's success, or he felt jealous or and competitive of his own partner?
or straight away you ask me such a difficult question.
No, but let's come to the point. No point moving. Beating
I
around
thought
the
she's
bush.
going to ask me how are you feeling today, book launch. And all. She's asking me if I have felt insecure. I think it's a very good question because the book talks about this woman and how her boyfriends become insecure of her success. And so she's asking me, tell me honestly if as a man I have been insecure. Well, I have a very overachiever wife actually. She's smarter than me and in many ways. And she's also an MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. She was working in a bank. And there were points at which she got promoted, I didn't get promoted. There were points her salary was higher than mine. So initially I did get insecure. Initially I did feel that way. But I realized that it's very difficult because she will continue to do well. So how long can I feel this way? Then I thought कि चलो मज़े ही ले लेते हैं. अभी तुम नौकरी करो, I'll leave and become a writer. I said, एक आदमी अगर अपनी ईगो गिरा देना तो बहुत आगे बढ़ सकता है. तो मैंने कहा मेरी कोई ईगो नहीं है, आप प्लीज़ नौकरी कीजिए, मैं घर बैठूंगा. So that's how that career switch happened. But you're right, it has happened. And then I check myself. Especially when I left my job, I remember people used to come to my house and say, अच्छा तो आप घर बैठते हो, because writer का काम कोई काम नहीं मानता है. अच्छा books लिखते हो, तो काम कौन करता है? अच्छा मैडम ऑफिस जाती हैं, अच्छा मिसेज आपकी ऑफिस जाती है और आप क्या करते हो पूरा दिन? मैंने कहा मैं कहानी सोचता हूँ. कहानियाँ सोचते हो बैठ के? सो आई स्टार्टेड फीलिंग इनसिक्योर. आई सेड अरे यार मैं भी आदमी हूँ, मैं भी कुछ करूँ. बट अभी
But isn't it amazing that he utilized that situation to his,
make a story.
Yeah, no, to his advantage rather than getting jealous and letting the relationship fall apart and not letting the woman go ahead of him. I think he deserves a round of applause for this.
Thank you.
Chetan, you are our modern, shining, modern man. You are an example of shining, modern Indian man. So we are very proud of you.
थैंक यू. अब कंगना ने मुझसे डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन पूछा है. आई शुड ऑल्सो आस्क डिफिकल्ट. नो, इजी और डिफिकल्ट? डिफिकल्ट. ओके, तो मेरा भी बाउंसर आएगा अभी. So what I want to know, in fact you yourself just said कि you cried at many times in the book because this was a leaf out of your life. These relationships, this girl has, it reminded, at least it made you connect to or relate to something of your past. Now I don't want, we are not looking for gossip here, but you are a woman who's working and who is also a woman who's tried to love and get love like any normal person. So where in this book did you feel that it has happened to you? Has it happened to you that men have become insecure about your success? Has your success actually been a penalty for you?
Well, this is it's like
अब आपने
मेरे
पूछा तो हम भी
जख्मों
पूछे.
पे नमक छिड़क दिया आपने. No, seriously, I think this is a very sensitive topic. Any working woman would relate with me that when we are not successful, when I was not doing well, and I was dating men more successful than me, I felt like I was devalued. I felt like I was not given my due as a woman, as a partner. I was not acknowledged, and men behaved borderline indifferent. So that gave me more motivation to do well. Just how it works for men, like you know a certain woman and you want to be worthy of her, right? For
Okay.
whatever reason, for a better companion, for a better future, for a stable future, you want to do well for yourself, not just for a partner, but why you want to move ahead in life and be successful. We have the same reason as men do, so you want to be worthy of your partner. And usually for a man it works. When he acquires a certain social stature and he goes up to the same woman doesn't want to acknowledge him or, doesn't want to, accept him, it works for him. But in a woman's case, it works the other way around. I've felt in my relationship that my success have always gone against me. There is a certain, okay, here's an analogy. My analogies are usually a bit weird, but I think when I was not successful, men behaved more like a hard to please father figure, you know, like hard to please. But when I became successful, they behave more like an evil, jealous sibling. You know, like I felt like they will put my closet on fire. They were jealous of my fashion sense also, you know, like everything was about competing with me, you know, like, oh, you're doing this, look at me, you know, you achieved this, okay, let me blow my trumpet anywhere, anytime. So it became unbearable. So I would say that when I was not successful, my relationships weren't so bad because, like I said, in an indifferent father's case, there is still a lot of trust, there is still a lot of faith and occasional nurturing, right? But an evil sibling, there is loss of desire. First of all, you feel a certain loss of desire between the, you know, like, you know, your couple life. You feel that the man is more focused on competing with you, proving you wrong, crushing you and your ego, and completely demolishing you. And there is not even little bit trust left. So I don't know what evokes this in a man, but it's been horrible. After my success, my relationship has gone completely for a toss.
Wow. So, in fact, I remember casually chatting with you once, and I asked you, Kangana, you are so successful now. There's articles about the highest paid actress, so many awards. Any award you want, you've got it. What would you have more of today? More success or more love?
Well, we want to be successful for love, right?
Is that true? Is that you want to be successful for love? That's the only-
Absolutely. There is no other reason to life, is there? Like if a man wants to be an achiever for more admiration, for more love, a woman doesn't have any other reason for anyone to feel that a woman has another agenda behind wanting to be successful or earn money, or she's ambitious, so she has some agendas, you know. There's no agenda, it's simply for love, for more admiration, for wanting to be seen as your abilities, not as like a 55 kgs weight that you carry, right? I want to be seen as my abilities, my skills, like the artist I am, you know. I want to be seen as my qualities, not as the girl, like I said, 55 kgs.
You're only 55 kgs. I'm so jealous actually. We are all very jealous of your weight. But so seriously, you would rather have more love than more success, and you are saying you don't have enough love? Kangana Ranaut, one of the most beautiful, desirable women in the country, doesn't have love. Guys, what are you doing? Seriously.
Thank you.
You really feel that? Is it because of certain relationships that have made you feel that way? That people have let you down, or you're not lovable enough or something?
Well, like I said, you know, when I wasn't successful, then I wasn't good enough. And when I became successful, I became the person to compete with, you know. So where is the time for love? Do you see, like, you know, but like I said, there are plenty of men out there. We still have a lot of hope. Look at you. He supports his wife. He's, you know, like I think we need more examples like this. And I think when our leading men, when an author like Chetan Bhagat is going to write about a woman's journey, you know, from a daughter's point of view, a mother's point of view, a sister's point of view, it's going to make a lot of difference. And I want to ask you, this brings me to this question that usually, because I am a certified screenwriter, and when I read any writer's work, I can tell that whether they have delved into the psyche of the character or not. So when I read this, initially let me tell you, like, I do not take you know, women character written by men very seriously, and that's why most my director let me work on my character and flesh them out on my own. So when I read this, I'm like, kya likha hoga, let me read it, you know, like that.
Okay.
No, but after I read it, I was so impressed, and I asked him that, didn't scare you to enter the psyche of a woman? Because every writer knows when we are done with the character, there's a part of any character, whether it's evil character, antagonist, protagonist, good, bad, child, a part of it remains in us. So how did you get that confidence from that I'm gonna enter this woman's psyche, I'm gonna have, you know, like, even gonna enter her anatomy, I'm going to have, like, think, behave like a woman? And what if when the book is over, a part of her remains in me? It didn't frighten you?
It did actually. Actually, I've been wanting to write in a woman's voice for 8 to 10 years now. But I had no confidence because of the reasons you're saying. Because I didn't just want to write about a female character who's a detective. It's not a detective novel. It's a novel about women by a woman written by a man. And that requires a certain understanding and certain letting go of I can't explain the process. I have to let go of myself. I think you guys do it as actors sometimes. If you're working on a good script, you lose yourself. You are actually become somebody else. And I think it's a very similar process. This book, I went away. I wasn't even in India. I wrote most of this book in Hong Kong. I shut myself out completely. And I thought back at every woman I have known. And when, normally women often scold you. They say, तुम्हें कुछ समझ नहीं आता है. या तुम्हें क्या पता है? Yeah, you don't understand me. I said, what was she trying to say to me? And I contacted them again. And I said, tell me, what did I not understand about you? And then without ego, without any sense of self, I just listened to her as if she's 100% right. And I did it with a lot of women. And I think over time, I just had to let go. Today, I do feel a sense of loss. Every time my book comes out, you want to hold on tight to that story one last time before it goes out to the world. I do feel like maybe I'm permanently become a woman a little bit after this book, which may not be a bad thing. I felt like getting a pedicure this morning, and not just that, but I think there is a certain feminine side which I'm not so afraid of now. I'm afraid to take on uncertainty. I'm afraid to be vulnerable.
Don't we love our husband taking care of our babies? Don't we love our husbands putting nail paints on our fingers? Don't we love our husbands to appreciate our haircut? He's a perfect husband material, ladies and gentlemen. Clapping for Chetan.
No, but Kangana, you are. Before we end this, you have been, I'll tell you honestly, you've been praising me a lot, and I'm now going to praise you for 2 minutes. So please.
Please, I know everything that you want to say.
No, it means a lot that you like this book. I can tell you, I was writing this book and I was super nervous. Because immediately all the feminists, because I'm writing about a feminist girl who's vulnerable, who's insecure, who wants to hold on to love, who takes a while to understand her feminist side. And I was scared that feminists will say, how can a girl who's a feminist be crying for a man? How can a girl who's a feminist be devastated by a breakup because a man left? And when you read it, it's not just you're a big star who read it, you're also one of the top feminist voices in the country. So to get your endorsement, I think it's made the book today. After that, I totally relaxed, and I wish you more success.
It's all heart.
No, and I wish you so much more success and so much more love. May you get a designer-made guy who will cater to your every whim. And because you deserve it, but yeah.
I have one more question.
But talk to me about that. That you said to me it's the first feminist love story I've seen.
Yeah.
It's the first feminist.
So I have one question, which I will actually want to ask. I've been meaning to ask an intelligent man. I didn't come across any for a while. So now that we are here,
What about, you mean you've not dated intelligent men?
No, for a while.
For a while.
I
Okay.
haven't come across. So this question I want to ask that there is this relationship I was in, and I was dating this guy who's not an actor. He's a doctor, and for us, though I was, a few years ago, I was in my mid-20s, he's a young doctor, but I still made a lot more money than him. For me, it was nice to go back to that environment where I actually grew up in, real people, real environment. It was little, it took me aback to lose my identity, because they were white people. He's an English guy. For me, it was a little hard to sort of come to a world where I'm just, leading an anonymous life. But I still came to terms with it. It was hard for him to adjust to my environment. Though I don't have hanky-panky filmy friends, all my friends are very humble. But every time he'd meet my friends, he would ask me, what did your friends think of me? Am I some small fry? He never spoke like that, and it was so heartbreaking to see him under that kind of a stress. So I remember one incident when we were in London and how your movie star friends suggest you places that to go to, like one of the best restaurants in the world and all of that. So I said that, we should go here. And he Googled and he's like, I don't want to spend so much on food. I said, I want to go there and I want to pay for it. Can I? Because he liked paying for everything. He seemed okay with that. We went there, we had dinner, it was amazing. When it came to paying for the food, I swiped the card and everything, and he started to get psyched in a very unnatural way, like he would ask me, what is this waiter thinking about me? I said, do you know the waiter? And he's like, no, but even that lady was looking at us. I said, do you know that lady? He's like, why do men do that? And that dinner became like a trauma, and I'm sure it was equally traumatic for him as well, because it led to like an argument and then fight, and I cursed myself for even suggesting that I want to pay, But if I can do laundries for him, go back to an anonymous life, being, like a major movie star, he cannot come to terms with my environment, even if it is for like half an hour. Why do men do that?
Okay. So I'm not going to defend men, and I'm not going to make this about men versus women, but I do want to tell you one thing. Just as women are conditioned to be a certain way, men are also culturally conditioned. Masculinity is not discussed much. It is just told, a man is told, you are what you earn. You are the money you make. And when you make your money, you take care of your woman. And that's so ingrained in a man that for many men, it's part of their identity. Unless you are besharam like me, मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
It's not besharam, right? Like if he's my partner.
I know.
I mean,
no, jokes apart. And I think men are told that this is what it means to be a man. You need to be able to, you should always pay in a restaurant. And maybe in that restaurant, even the waiters always every day see the men paying, especially when a beautiful girl comes. And I think he felt small. Should he have felt too small? No. I think if he was secure about the relationship with you, he would have not felt small. But I think it was not about the money. It was not about who's paying. It seems like this man was afraid to lose you. He felt that I am not man enough for her, and she, like every other woman, will care that I never pay or I'm not able to afford
but then
this.
how to have a healthy relationship with your partner when you can't always you cannot pretend to be a nobody all the time, right? Like for how long I can go on with a sort of facade that, oh fine, I'm just like another girl. I am not a movie star.
No,
I
you
am
are
not
who you
this
are.
capable person, and I do not visit fancy restaurants. I cannot go on pretending,
No. And I
like
think
that's not natural.
That's the issue at large, and that's what the book deals with as well. I think like in some ways we have changed. So we have colleges, we have jobs, we have opportunities that a girl can come from an ordinary background and become very successful, whether it's a banker, scientist, doctor, or a movie star. But when they actually become successful, society, the social structures have not changed. We don't know what to do with them. Every man wants a girl who's not more successful than her. Now what will happen to Kangana? इनके लिए आदमी कहाँ से बनेगा, right? So then she's like now saying, I need more love. Arey, what is happening? The moment I start getting awards, my boyfriends start getting insecure. So it's not her fault. Whereas for a man, when he wins an award, the girl is expected
I will organize a party for
फिर वो
him,
पार्टियाँ
you
करती हैं
know.
वो.
But when I get an award, I became the object of suspicion that, okay, now what's going on with her,
So that's a dilemma, and I think that's what this book is trying to address, that you've given women the opportunity to shine. We always keep saying empower the woman. There's a scene in the book where the girl tells her mother, why did daddy tell me when I was a little child we used to go to...
That line just made me cry. I was like, sobbing like a little girl when I read that. It's so powerful.
So she just says that dad used to tell me, bete bade ho ke tum kuch bhi ban sakte ho. You can be anything in life. And now I'm successful. Now I'm making so much money. My mom is saying, you're not even a girl anymore. Tu chupchap ghar baith ke shaadi kyun nahi karti?
Because mom tells her that she cannot put her so many zero salary in her matrimonial. Because where will guys...
They will have less guys. So they are making a Shaadi.com matrimonial for her. And mom says, no. The girl makes around 2-3 crores a year. She says, don't put your salary. Then we don't get good boys. So she says, Mom, what is the point of my achievements if you're going to hide them?
Yeah, exactly. And that's when she says this. And this is, I think, is the most amazing part of the book.
And the bankers can hide achievements, but how is Kangana supposed to hide her achievements? They'll just read about it in the papers. So that's it. I think on that note, we'll do a very quick read. I don't like to do long readings. And my readings are also like dialogues. So I will read the boys part and Kangana will read the girls part. Normally, I've always written as a boy, so I can guide it because it's a first person boy. But this time it's going to be a little different because it's as a girl, so obviously Kangana has to read as a girl. So she'll be reading the girls' dialogues and the description and narrative. Those of you who have the book in their hand, page 13, chapter 2, page 13, around the second paragraph, the scene is, it's a destination wedding happening. So the girl, Radhika, has met the arranged marriage guy she's getting married to. So she's not in love with him yet. It's just an arranged marriage guy who works in Facebook in IT department. She doesn't she doesn't have a relationship with him or anything yet. And they are in Goa and they decide that let's spend some time together. So the boy says, let's go for a walk on the beach. So this is the first meeting with this boy, Brijesh. Are you guys see chapter 2, page
Yeah.
12?
Also, I'll use two voice modulations.
Yeah.
One for Radhika, another for Minimi, which is she has a voice inside of her, like a nagging, criticizing. Would you introduce Minimi, please?
So there is a mental Radhika and there is a speaking Radhika. So Kangana will do both. Okay. Okay. So they are taking a walk. Kangana, from so you just, yeah.
Okay. So you just arrived yesterday from San Francisco.
Yeah, I landed last night. I wanted to maximize my leave. 1 week for the wedding, a couple of days after that at home in Mumbai, then Bali for our honeymoon. Used it all up actually.
The word honeymoon caused a jolt in me. Minimi woke up again. Honeymoon? After a dozen old Skype calls, meeting once over a day trip, a week in Bali with this man I am walking next to. Will we be naked? Stop it, Radhika. Focus on the moment. Must be tiring, flying so much.
I saw you. I'm not tired anymore.
I smiled. The man is trying. Maybe I should too. Brijesh smiled back. He had innocent teacher's pet eyes. How's Facebook?
I had a busy month. Just finished an enterprise project. So much work. Front-end interfaces, back-end systems, underlying APIs.
APIs?
Application program interface. You know, it's a set of routines, protocols, tools for building software applications. How software components interact basically.
I nodded, having understood not a word.
You have no idea what I'm talking about, right?
I laughed. I know not the...
I know. Not the most exciting job in the world.
Come on, you work at Facebook. It's quite cool.
People think it is Facebook, so there's nothing to do. We post pictures all day or something.
Oh, I'm sure it is pretty high-tech behind the scenes. Should I talk more about personal stuff? He will happily discuss computer code for 2 hours if I let him. Radhika, take control.
Okay, I think we'll stop here. Rest you have to read the book. Big hand for Kangana to do this. Is it okay to do 1 or 2 questions from people?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So we'll do 2-3 questions from here and then we'll launch the book and then we'll have Kangana has to leave and then I'll be here to sign the books. So please queue up. No pictures, just simple. They'll tell you how the signing works.
Check
Okay,
test.
question answers?
We'll get it started, Chetan.
Huh? First launch, then Q&A kare, sir. Is that okay? Yeah, I'm okay.
We've held the launch. We will quickly, just two questions, and we'll do the launch. We'll have to bring it in the front.
Yeah, okay.
वो
let's do
लाना
it.
पड़ेगा सर, वो ब्लॉक हो जाएगा इसलिए कह रहे हैं.
सिर्फ 2 questions, 2 सवाल.
2-3 सवाल कर लेते हैं छोटे छोटे. Yeah, I've answered many questions, so maybe Kangana can answer a few.
Kangana, we're getting it rolling. This time we've got the hard copy books over here. There are also e-books now available. What are your comments on your satisfaction with e-books or with physical books? What's your take on that?
Well, I come from little old school. I love physical books. The e-books are not bad either. When you're traveling, you can't carry a lot of them together. But my eyes start to hurt after a while with the light and all of that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we'll throw it open. Just one more from the media. 2 more from the media.
Give them a mic, no?
I just read the excerpt that was put out, which is about the waxing scene. And you kind of describe the waxing scene, and it's pretty close to real life. And at the end, you say something on the lines of how Radhika would have preferred lashes that they give in Saudi Arabia to waxing. Do you think that's a very dangerous comparison to make?
It's just a joke because because she's never had waxing done. So when she gets it done, she feels like she's getting lashes in Saudi Arabia, which they give to her. So it's just a joke. But yeah, it's okay. I take creative liberties, so it's just that. Any questions for Kangana?
Okay, one question on the back.
Yeah.
Hi. That's nice. Thank you.
Hi sir, my name is
That's
Gavi.
nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
My
Nice.
question is that you have created a
Thank you.
character who is feminist and free, who is a free girl. So how do you explain the character to accept a arranged marriage proposal?
I just read the book. You will see what's going on. I don't want to reveal much about the book. Yeah.
We'll take one from the right, one from the left now, and we'll sum it up.
Hi Chetan, congratulations for your book. I have been to 2 launches before as well, and many congratulations. Coming straight to the question, all your books have become really successful. Do you feel the pressure, you know, when every time there's a book launch, everyone
yeah.
is aware it's going to be super?
I do. But this time after Kangana said she loved the book, I was not so worried.
But do you generally
But
feel the pressure
until
when you're
she
writing?
had the book, I was worried. I do feel pressure, especially when I'm writing it and when
Yeah.
I'm taking such a risky subject, I do. Guys, you have any questions for Kangana? Then she has to go. Okay.
Kangana, you being a successful woman, how difficult is it to be in a relationship with another successful man who is from the same industry? Like, how difficult is that?
Like I said, I just explained that equations change. When you're not successful enough, then you are devalued. And when you become successful, then there is a competition spirit that creeps into you, into both of you. And I don't know if it is actually about the profession, because like I said, I've dated a guy who's not from the same profession as well. But there was this constant tension between us every time matter of monies came up, filing tax, or even one dress of mine, how much it costs, and everything was like as if I was trying to hide, just to not, literally walking on eggshells, not to, hurt egos. But it's very hard. It's very hard to find someone who can hold his own before you when you're so successful.
Kangana, you have this image. What I've seen in your talks and speeches is like you're this feminist, and today you're coming across as really like just a simple girl who needs love, isn't it? And can you connect the two? Can you be that and a feminist together? Because I think girls here want to know.
No, I think